they rub off on you some of that car vibe. So even your own becomes a vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much. That's like a whole book that is waiting to be released on celebrating and not scheduling celebrations, recognizing moments, and not just, waiting for the next bad thing that's about to happen, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Diane.
Actually, on that, yeah, I tried to put all that in my book. I wrote a book, Still in Time, where like the different moments. So I almost give you a moment that you could celebrate every month. So that's like 12 different moments that you could make a big deal about in the year. But writing that as just telling my husband, like for the first, I mean that I am big on moments, I've done all those things. But last year, I got like a gift that spoke so much about me. Because like gifts is not, okay, I love gifts, please don't get me wrong, but it's not like one of my love languages.
Yeah.
But they got it. And this is my husband and my kids. They got me birthstones, like earrings, really tiny, but because they know those attachments, because of the added meaning to it that, oh, it's the birthstone, and then for my birthday. And finally they get it. I was like, yes, the book worked. Finally they get it. To just have them expressed like that. Yeah.
Love it, Diane. You I mean, even the time we have here is not enough to just, unlock everything that you have and you carry through. But for the people that are interested, Diane leads a beautiful space for marriage. It's called the Note Experience. And if you're interested, I'll be sharing, her contacts. You can reach out to her on the groups that we have so that you can take this conversation further. She has a lot more that we may not go into today because of time, but let me just read some of the questions, Diane, that came through. The people that had asked some questions. Yeah, maybe we can get to answer some. There's a question here. Someone is seeking help. Yeah, but okay. I think you might advise that they seek a lawyer, but this is seeking advice on separation to protect their children from repeated infidelity in marriage. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, definitely. Yeah, sidebar. I'm open to have a conversation with you and still advise on that. Yeah, but of course, anything going legal.
Yeah.
But there are also spaces that.
Yeah, I think Diana, I'll just share your WhatsApp line here so that whoever is interested can side by you even after this. But here is an interesting question for you. How can you restore a lost friendship in marriage where you've now just become parents to kids and mere housemates, no conversation, just the basics? Like, the kids need school fees, or they need to go for games here and what. Okay, who are you dropping them? I'll pick them, and so on. So especially when you've gone through a long season of marriage, how do you, this person is clearly at that place where they want to restore their friendship, but they don't know how to go about it. And I'm tempted to ask you to talk about those stages of marriage, and I think in the last in the next few minutes, and just highlight what people need to look out for and how to handle each stage.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so we could go that direction. So the first stage is really, it's a dream stage where, like I said, you're in love and you're not thinking. meaning that you will excuse their things, you're making excuses for them. You're seeing them really in the brighter light. This is a great season. I keep saying, like, yeah, you're Dilulu, but it absolutely is like the best season for building foundations to help you after. So it is learning to communicate, like to grow that friendship when you're still in that dream is such a good stage. Building friendships around you to help you, because marriage can be a lonely journey. It was never meant for you to take it alone. So building friends, like common friends together, because there'll be so many things to come to pull you apart. Learning to talk to each other about even the difficult things, because right now you're being helped by butterflies, as I call them. But this stage, like, of course, like you cannot stay on a high. Yeah, at some point, gravity. So even the butterflies rest at some point. And when the butterflies rest is when you finally come to the realization, then you're like, what did I get myself into? Is what most people, sort of start to feel. And this is the drama stage. But this is what I would explain about the drama stage. The drama stage is that friction, of course, you've come from different backgrounds, have different expectations, you're different. Let's even start there, men and women. So, of course, the friction has got to happen. But I like to say, like a rough piece of wood and sandpaper. Both of them are rough, but after a bit of rubbing, and that friction is painful, but after a while, the wood will be smooth, but so will the sandpaper, like it will have lost its roughness as well. In this stage of friction, when the butterflies have rested, many people think it's a bad stage because one, I don't know,
always fighting
or always disagreeing. But this is the real process of, when you when you get married and they say that two become one, it doesn't mean that in the instance that now you said your vows, now you're one. No.
You get married and then the process of becoming.
The process of becoming one begins. Yeah. And it's a process. I don't even know that process ever ends. You sort of are still constantly in the process of becoming one. But in this stage, the thing that you need to do is, one, you need to learn to manage conflict well, for example, because you have a lot of opportunity to learn to fight, right? Because you're already having a lot of friction. But in this stage as well, it is important. And this is what I think maybe she's in the next stage. She's gone past this one, but still, if you're in a stage where your relationship, you're fighting quite a bit, these are the things that I would say. One, learn to fight well. And fighting well means lay a foundation. Many times we will fight from a place of fear. People fight because, they're afraid of living, for example, in a bad situation. And that's not a bad thing to want better. It's not a bad thing. But
being taken for granted, they're afraid they're afraid of losing the person,
losing the relationship. And that's the most common. Like, while they are fighting, whichever way you fight, whether it's in Lucidica or you're, getting verbal, most of the time, it's from a place of fear.
Right.
Now, not understanding, like I said, even for myself, when I was like, Kale, even me, I'm not all that. And because I'm not all that, I extend grace. You get to this end of God. As human as I am, because even I am not perfect. So I really see them in that light. Like, I change the focus. Because of that, I'm not saying that now you stay or accept. Like, don't accept bad life. No, that's not Jesus's plan for you. No. But like when you are going to fight, you lay the foundation. I like to call it the safety net.
Mm.
I love you and I'm not leaving you.
Mm.
Situation has got to change. So now let's fight. Now that we have laid the foundation, like this fight is not about me leaving you. That's
Mm.
not it. But we have got to find a solution to this situation that we are going through. And that completely changes the game. Also,
Right.
especially for ladies, hey, we can get so disrespectful. And once you do that, yeah, men are like
Switch.
completely, they switch off, I am out. Yeah, so to remain respectful, and I mean, not just women anyway, even men, like in the fight, don't become disrespectful. Remember, because
But I
now
think it's very common for ladies because that's unnatural for us to respect, and yet it's what God has called
God
us to.
demand for us,
Yeah,
yeah,
to respect and honor and submit.
and
How do you
submit.
submit when you're fighting? It's
So
a
the
very
other thing
unnatural place.
that
Yeah. Mm.
that I found in science that helps is
Mm.
that it's impossible to shout when you're holding hands.
Wow.
Like you
Mm.
can't fight when you're holding hands. So if you're going to have a discussion, hold hands and you try. Start attempt to fight. Give it a try. Science experiment. But yeah, it's been found that when you touch the connection like that,
Mm.
yeah, because of the dopamine and all those hormones, it sort of like just brings the pressure down because it's human, as in it's what a hug does for you. It's what
Right.
you
Mm.
do. Yeah. So that's another thing that you can do while you fight so that the temperature goes down. The other thing is express. Like many times we fight and we still do not say the real thing that's hurting us. So explain from a point of heart. What we do is that date night when we get in the car, parking, in the car when we get home before you get into the house, because it's nice and quiet and you can focus, like, okay, so last time when you did this and this is how it made me feel. And we have found that on all those times, when we have come at it like that, because no one can fight your feelings, how you felt is how you felt. Already throws compassion from the other person. Usually the response is like, I'm sorry that you felt that way. That's not what I meant. And the conversation, then now you can move on to getting a solution for what you're going through. There are many things for drama, but the
Yeah,
other
we can go
comes,
to the other stages
yeah,
and
the
see
other
our
stage,
Mm.
the stage that comes after that, which is discovery, is the stage where, of course, now children have come. And because children have come, I keep telling people that the reaction when between men and women, when the chick says, I'm pregnant, many times the lady will feel like he does not care, but let me just help you see this as they do. When you say you're pregnant, now he's like, oh my God, okay, now I have to take care of someone. So many times they will run to work. So it seems they're absent in the thing, but they're not absent. You get like they're reacting to the same way you think baby and not nappies, the diapers and milk and the whole nesting thing for them, because then they have to provide. They go into that box. So Bambi, have a bit of grace and yeah, teach him to come back home to you
And
slowly.
theirs goes far up far ahead. They even think of the college and all the school fees that
Everything, like it just lays out just how much, and they're like, I better go to work. Yeah, because of just the responsibility.
Yeah.
It's not that Bambi, they don't care. They care. They're just caring differently. And look at it as you're both fighting in the same rings, but sometimes you have to fight like that. Like you're together, but you're handling different aspects of it. Anyway, discovery, that's what happens. That children have come and you have had so many fights, you begin to choose your battles. You're like, now this one, this is not so important. Maybe I will attack this one. So usually, yeah, men are chasing careers, women are lost in their children and just raising that and the upbringing and all of that. And this is where the drift happens the most. Because you see, the drama is dramatic, but it's edging, like you're in the thing, in discovery.
So this is where this person is probably the one that wrote,
yeah, where it is quiet, still waters that run deep. It's calm. You're not even fighting. It's that one where you're saying you're just running the home. Yeah, so and so needs a book, and where things are just your energies are just enough for the things that you have to do, and this is what you do in that stage. In as much as it sounds unromantic and uncool, you have got to be intentional. Like the biggest thing about being in this stage is to be intentional. Because first of all, familiarity has kicked in. It's those things where you hear, or you're what, yeah? As in, because you've gotten used to your person. Yeah, that's how they are. And you sort of brush it off. So we get too familiar with each other that we don't see each other, we don't appreciate. There's a thing that we say, we don't give enough words of encouragement, of appreciation. I mean that gratitude is a whole discussion for another day, but gratitude will change your life. It changes how you see things, how you're able to dream, if you could just be thankful with what you have. So what I would say to her is that, go down and write down the things that this person is doing now, not the ones you hope for, but the things that they are doing now that you are actually thankful for. Gratitude will change how you see this person. And then now don't be grateful and keep it to yourself. Tell them. If I have seen most men, words of encouragement is a real thing. So do let them know what you appreciate. You could start there. I know that you want it to be like he does and I do, but I believe that just a change with you can start a change in him. So treat him with kindness. Be intentional about those things. They're not going to be automatic. Like I said, your life is already busy. So you have got to be intentional. Sharing with some couples, there's an app, the Love Nudge, which is on the 5 love languages. So you fill in his love languages, and it sort of like gives you tasks or goals that you can actually do to sort of like help you fill his cup. So the thing that I would say about this stage, to be a friend, you give.
Right. I think, Diane, let me just share. One thing I have noticed about marriage is oftentimes we're waiting for the other person to start. And so the cycle continues that way because you want him to do it. So what I learned that saves me a lot of times is I just do it because, again, we started this conversation saying that marriage is one of those that helps you to die to self. Yeah, like God puts us there. So one of the aspects about dying to self is don't wait for the other person to be a certain way, to be perfect, to be to reach a certain stage, whatever. Like if you've been prompted to start something, start it anyway. Along the way, it will pay off, but don't wait for them to get to a place where it's all rosy and everything. It might never come, and yet you would have missed that opportunity to be a blessing to them. Yeah.
And to actually
someone is saying here that I need him to appreciate me too. Yeah.
Exactly. But we do not appreciate because we want it back. Yeah. We appreciate because we are thankful. You think of it as, okay, this is the person that God has given me, as you would anything else. So God, thank you that first of all, he's here today. Thank you that he cares enough to ask about the children. The things that you've been complaining about, turn that. Perspective is everything. Be thankful, and believe me, I have not seen where it has not come round. And that's why I'm saying that be thankful for the things that are now, not what you hope for. Because again, I don't want you to go lying. Be thankful for what you have now. Find the thing now. Yeah.
Wow.
Then the last stage, which is depth, where, okay, finally I have come to terms with his weaknesses and all of that and all of that. And it's like where our parents are. My parents in 2 weeks are making 50 years in marriage. Yeah, wow.
Celebration.
Right? I'm forcing them, by the way. But yeah, the stage that they are, like right now, they almost work like a well-oiled machine. I know that it comes from all those, because this is what I would say about the stages. It doesn't matter who you have. You will still go through those stages with whichever person you have. Yeah, so if you're in drama, just learn to do drama well, because just leaving the person that you're with now and getting into the other one, still the butterflies will rest and then the work will start, and you still have to go through that entire process.
True.
So whatever you want, yeah, you give it.
Just build it now with the person God has gifted you with.
That you have.
Yeah. Well, Diane, I feel like we are going to end this abruptly because we've shot 10 minutes into it. But I know that this is just the beginning. We are going to have plenty more conversations on this. Clearly, it's a much needed conversation. I know that a few of the ladies here are married and they have so many questions. Some are saying, it's unfair to keep being the one that is appreciating. Sometimes it's not reciprocated, and we'll tackle that. But for now, I'm afraid we have to end. I'm going to be hosting up. Thank you so much, Diane, for your time. We really appreciate you. Can you just help me appreciate Diane in the chat? Show her some love. And you can also follow the Not Experience on YouTube. There are some resources there as well. And I'm going to share Diane's contact, but also the group. Diane, is the group open to anyone that wants to join for the Not Experience?
The community.
Yes, the community. I'm also going to share that so that if any of you wants to join that space, you can join it to get more tips on marriage and all things relationships and stealing moments and looking honeymoon vibes at sweet 17 or sweet 16. Yeah. All right. We'll very soon I'll be hosting a wives Bible study coming up in the middle of next month. I'll be announcing the real time. We are going to be studying a beautiful book by a certain lady that has written on marriage, and it's really based on the book of Philippians. It will bless you, and it will, all those that are having questions of, Banan, me, I've been doing this for a long time and it's not worked. This will be one of those things that will help you just remember that why you need to do it, and also help you to recognize that even if you're the only one doing it, it's a seed you're sowing and it's helping you. Eventually, it's helping the marriage. It's not just about if the other person is doing it or not. So we sow seeds because God is the one that rewards every effort that we make. But for now, I'd like to wrap this up. Maybe we just share in the words of the grace. Look out for those announcements. When they do, just sign up and let's grow together and become all that God has intended for us to be in this earth. Amen. Let's share in the words of the grace. Yes, I've seen your questions. That's why I asked you to ask questions earlier, but just a few of you asked, and but we'll answer as we go on. All right. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of
the Holy Spirit
us
be with us
forever.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. God bless
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
God
again.
bless you too.
God bless you. Bless you.